What's up, everyone? It's Warren.
And it's Chris.
And today we're going to be breaking down the Morbius trailer. Great trailer.
Yeah, I saw this morning a very, very good trailer. And anybody that's excited for the Spider-Verse or for Sony's side of things, it does give you a lot of hope.
We will get into that for sure. Talk about all the MCU cameos, all the little Easter eggs that they put in this trailer. But let's start off by watching it.
Michael, I've known you since you were a child. You're a gift. You always have.
I love the eerie piano.
If there's an answer to the disease, you'll find it.
I should have died years ago. Why am I still here if not to fix this? I have a rare blood disease, and I'm running out of time. This could be my last chance.
I'm Batman. Marvel's.
What is it?
That's not exactly legal.
I don't want to see you get hurt more than you already have.
This would be a cure.
Vampire bats. Want the blood. What do you think was going to happen?
At what cost?
Cost of being a vampire. Definitely has a Venom feel.
I was thinking
That
the
feels
same
like
thing when I
Venom
watched
right
it this
there,
morning. I was like, it's definitely got the Venom vibes
That's
to
Batman
it.
right there.
Well, yeah,
That's like Batman Begins.
Yeah.
I went from dying to feeling more alive than ever.
Increase
Mini
strength and
Aquaman.
speed.
This part's cool.
The ability to use echolocation.
Sonar.
That's cool.
And an overpowering urge to consume blood. How far are we allowed to go
Murderer.
to fix something that's broken? Until the remedy is worse than the disease.
Wait for it.
Michael Morbius. Got tired of doing the whole good guy thing. What's up, Doc?
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
Oh, okay. So, the trailer actually does a very good job at breaking down all of his abilities. Telling his story. This is a teaser trailer. You're not really supposed to know all of it. So there's clearly a much bigger picture than what's going on in this teaser trailer because it's a teaser. They're not showing us the whole thing.
It's long.
What they did do is give us a good example of how he becomes the living vampire. So his name's Dr. Michael Morbius, and he becomes Morbius, the living vampire. They did do a good job at
No, they did a really good job of walking through, like, hey, there's this guy. He's sick. He's super smart.
Right.
He wants to fix himself.
Right.
Now he's a vampire.
because you have to know who he is, right?
Well, I think the reason they did that, too, is because a lot of people out there don't know who Morbius is.
That's what I mean. You have to, in the first trailer, when you're saying, hey, this is Morbius, people are going to go, well, who the heck is Morbius?
Right.
You have to show exactly who he is. And they did a really good job. They were like, he's a doctor. They showed the part where he's getting the Nobel Prize. I think it said for physiology
And medicine.
and medicine, right? So he's a good person. He shows him working on the children in the hospital, and he has a rare blood disease that nobody else in the world has. And to fix that, he says it's illegal, right? Because it's like, well, you're going to be experimenting on yourself with animals as well. So he takes the blood, and he has a vial, and it's blood or it's venom or DNA. In the comics, it's DNA. And he cuts himself, and I'm assuming he injects himself with it as well, and that's when the bats come, the vampire bats, and something happens. Now, in the comics, his DNA gets infused with bat DNA, and he's like, uses electrotherapy, which is what I think the cage thing is, with all the wires coming down. I think that's some sort of electrotherapy thing. And he basically becomes a vampire.
Which is really interesting for people who aren't into the comics that deep.
Right.
A vampire is an a superhero movie,
Right.
and it's like,
Right. It's a good take for Sony and Marvel to have, aside from the traditional Dracula vampire movies and stuff like that. Now we have Moon Knight coming up, and we have Blade coming up. And we have to talk about these MCU references in this trailer. The trailer looks great, but this is a big move. Spider-Man's photo, literally on the wall, him walking right by it, and it says murderer. Now, funny thing is, this is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man from PS4. Not sure who's in charge of picking that photo out.
well, that's a huge thing. Like, there's a reason they used that one. And the arguments are already all over the internet. They still don't have permission from the MCU to do it, or they're going to change it in the actual movie, because we know that these guys are famous
That's
for
what
that.
I would bet.
So it's like, and then of course you have Michael Keaton in there, and his character's unknown. So
No, his character is Adrian Toomes.
his character's unknown, but it's like, so are they pushing the limits here because they're arguing with the MCU still because of the whole Spider-Man conflict? Are they still just trying to keep it hidden and get people excited? Where do you stand on that?
No, I think it's very intentional. I think it's going to cross over with the MCU. I think Spider-Man's going to be in Venom 2. I think Venom is going to be in Morbius. And
Does that mean we get Blade and Moon Knight over?
That's what I think as well.
Okay.
I think it ties into Moon Knight, and I think it ties into Blade eventually.
So where does that leave us in the MCU with Moon Knight
I think they're
and
just
Blade?
going to share a universe.
They're just going to just
Yeah.
all out.
Because it's not hard to say. Yes, it's confusing, but it's not hard to say these movies are canon to the MCU, right? They take place in the same universe. Maybe they don't necessarily affect what happens in the MCU, but they do take place in the MCU. So it's like, oh yeah, there's this vampire dude running around, but it didn't affect the Avengers, it didn't affect Doctor Strange, it didn't affect the world,
Yeah.
right? Because it's kind of I don't want to like belittle it, but it's a small story as far as a universal scale. The universe that he lives in is not in danger because he's becoming a vampire.
Right, exactly.
So it's kind of like on a much lower scale as
Then
far
like
as
Thanos
threat-wise.
and
Right, but what they're doing undoubtedly is setting up the Sinister Six.
well, that's what they want, right?
They've wanted it, and they've
That's what we
talked about
want.
it. Yeah, they've talked about it for a very long time, and they've already openly said. One of the producers, Amy Pascal from Pascal Pictures, said, "We have everyone
We're
for
ready
the
to go.
Sinister Six.
We're ready to go.
Right? And we know that their idea was to do Sony Spider-Verse. So we have Venom, and then pretty soon is Carnage, and then Kraven the Hunter, and then now these people with the Sinister Six. That can be done in the MCU. That's what we're heading towards. That is Adrian Toomes. That is Vulture, 100%. I think it's the post-credit scene.
Okay.
I think it's like, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. I'm here to talk to you about the Sinister Six.
Buddy.
Right. I think that's literally
That'd be
what's
cool.
happening.
That'd be cool.
Why is he there in a police car? You can see the sirens. He clearly took it.
Yeah.
Why is he there looking for Morbius?
So this is going to be the end credit scene that we didn't get in Spider-Man Far From Home.
I think so.
Okay, I'm excited for that. And
I think
if we
so.
go back to the comics, for me as an individual, that was probably the Spider-Man Sinister Six. That's my highlight right there.
Sure.
So I'm excited for that as well.
Yeah.
I do want to bring it back to Morbius real quick because the MCU has done such an interesting thing to superhero movies, and that's DC, Spider-Verse, MCU. It's just created this undefeatable block. Where do you rate Morbius, just from what we've seen in this world? You've got Joker, you've got Wonder Woman, you've got all the MCU storylines coming in. Where does Morbius fit in all this for you?
And like a 1 to 10 rating?
Yeah, sure.
Oh. It depends because I think with DC and Marvel, specifically Marvel, you have giant team-up movies which take all the hype from whatever is going on. When Avengers Endgame came out, that's all I heard, right?
Nothing else
all
even
you
existed.
heard was about Avengers Endgame. So it's not like that. It's not a movie like that. So if you take away that, I think there's two different scales, right? So if you take away like a solo individual film, I think it's probably a 7.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And that was something we talked about recently about like the Joker movie in the DC.
Right.
It's like
Which
these
is a
are
10.
movies, right?
Which is a 10.
These are movies. There's
Right.
no reason we can't enjoy them because the whole hard wiring of everything. So I don't know. This Morbius character and everything that they're building up to is extremely exciting. And always remember it's a good opportunity to watch a good film.
Right. Good movie.
Regardless of what happens.
It doesn't matter if it connects to anything or not. Obviously, we're going to freak out if it really is, hey, I'm here to talk to you about the Sinister Six initiative.
I'm ready for that.
Which I'm thinking is going to happen. I do think this is the post-credit scene.
All right. Well, we're going to get a lot more updates for it. The movie, good kickoff, I think, with the trailer.
Yeah,
and
it was really good.
He looks amazing.
He does.
The acting looks good. I'm excited.
So let us know what you think. Let us know in the comments down below. Did you like this trailer? Do you like his look?
Alrighty, and thank you so much for staying till the end. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. So much amazing stuff coming out with these movies, and we're here to cover it all.